Very, very happy to see that Motorola is bringing back the Edge series to the US in 2025 with the Moto Edge 2025. We're also talking about the brand new Watch Fit, the brand new smartwatch that was actually announced at the same time as the announcement of the Razr series, the Edge series, and of course the Watch series and their buds that were talked about at the time. But without further ado, this is TK and we're going to go ahead and check out all of the features and what makes these devices so special. The brand new Motorola Edge 2025 and the Moto Watch Fit. Let's check them out. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. So what I have in front of us is both of the boxes. The Moto Edge 2025, again, single version that's going to be coming out in the US market. This is the Edge 2025. It is powered by the Dimensity 7400 Ultra processor made by MediaTek. On the right side, we have the Motorola or the Moto Watch Fit. It is a smartwatch that was announced at the same time that features up to 10 days worth of battery life, a beautiful 1.9-inch display, as well as GPS tracking for your fitness. And of course, the ability of customizing the actual watch bands with a 22mm configuration, as well as the one that's included in the box. So here we have it, the brand new Moto Edge 2025. It's only going to be available in one color. This is going to be the Pantone Deep Forest color, and that's going to give us that nice green, rich green color that we have. It is a faux leather backing, or essentially a vegan leather experience. The Moto logo is sent in here. We have the triple camera stack in the back, dual 50s, the main and the ultra wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto lens with a dual tone LED flash. We have wireless charging as well as wire charging, of course. And the battery that we have here is a 5200 milliampere battery supported with a 68-watt charging, turbocharging that unfortunately is not included in the box. It does support power delivery 3.0, but up to 15-watt wireless charging. So wireless charging configuration works beautiful. Now on the left side, we definitely get some of the new experiences that Motorola is trying to focus on us. We have one of the microphones and the AI key that's positioned on the left side of the device. The main display here is a beautiful, beautiful 6.7-inch display. This is a POLED display running at Super HD resolution at up to 120 Hertz refresh rate with up to 4500 nit brightness in really beautiful outside experiences. Very nice, very smooth. The experience is very dynamic, again powered by the Dimensity 7400 Ultra processor. The current version that we have here has 8 gigabytes of RAM with an ability of expanding it with RAM boost and a 256 internal storage capability that we have. Other than that, when we switch over on the right side, we have a power key positioned right here on the bottom, a volume rocker right above it. On the top, we have pretty much one of the microphones, and then when we switch it on the bottom, we have access to the bottom firing speaker married with the top earpiece to give us the stereo experience, a USB-C for power data charging configuration, and bottom microphone, a dual SIM card, a dual SIM tray at the bottom, and also the ability of using eSIM as this device does support it. Now, when we look over on the Watch Fit, it's pretty straightforward, and the experience that we're getting here, at least in the box that I received, it comes with this nice little fabric band intended for more workouts and obviously outdoor activities. It has Velcro pieces on the back here to be able to strap on, and of course, just provide you the nice perfect fit for any exercise or activity that you're going to be doing. The overall performance here is really nice because I like the fact that in the box, they not only include the charger, which essentially is a USB-C cable here, which definitely works with most devices, and a pogo pin connector on the bottom. So essentially all you're going to do is connect it at the bottom. It is magnetic. You can actually hang it there and it'll charge up the watch. The battery on this is supposed to last us up to 10 days and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing I do want to say that I appreciate, although you're noticing here a proprietary cable, proprietary strap, it is compatible with 22mm watch bands, and that's because they also include in the box these adapters that you're able to attach to anything. So I'm using these from a different watch that I have. They look absolutely fantastic. There is a little release tab at the bottom here, so you just have to push that button down and that separates it. Same way you can basically connect the additional straps that you want, and then from there on, customize the experience to your liking. Very simple and very easy, and I really do appreciate the fact that they include them in the box, so you don't have to worry about that. The watch straps themselves, unfortunately, are not, but the adapters are definitely included. Now, on the bottom, we have the charging pins as well as the sensors, and for the most part, once you're ready to use it, you just basically put it on your wrist. Now, one thing to mention, there is a stopper at the top here, so that there's no way for us to actually kind of take it off all the way. It actually stops at that experience. And then tighten it to your personal preference, and of course, the watch itself does support, let's go ahead and put it to sleep, where, you know, just to wake up, and it has multiple watch faces and different experiences built in here. Let's go ahead and put that in one more time, and then you can go ahead and switch around from the different watch faces. Pushing the button once takes us directly into the apps. You're able to scroll through the different experiences in there. Swiping from the top, we have access to the toggles. Swiping from the bottom, we have access to the notifications. And if we double press the button, it takes us directly into our metric information for the current day. So you can basically see the heart rate, continuous heart rate monitoring, the sleep information, the steps, everything, caloric burn, everything's very nice and very simple. And the nice thing about it is that it not only supports sport activities to be able to track them, but you also have the ability of using them with GPS, so you don't actually have to bring your phone with you. Now, one of the really nice things about the Moto Edge 2025 is that quad curved display. What it essentially is, let's say turn it off the display here. To swipe from the bottom, I'm swiping and I'm actually getting that nice experience. It's very nice and smooth. There is no sharp edges to go on. Now, unfortunately, there is also no screen protector on this device. In case you want it, you'll be able to pick one up. The fingerprint sensor is positioned slightly lower than what we normally see. To be able to customize the experience on the watch, just go ahead and open up the Smart Connect, connect to it directly, and you'll be able to see the battery level, the name of the watch, and the current watch face. A library of watch faces that are pre-built and on the watch, and of course you can download additional one, customize your experiences directly from the library, add them to the watch. You can customize the toggles, that's that swipe down from the top, the panels, as well as the fact that you can go in there, customize the applications, the order that they're in, so you can make it easier to access. The watch settings pretty much basically mirror what's already on the watch itself. So if you check for updates, I was able to actually get one update since I got the watch, and it works absolutely fantastic. Very simple, very easy. It does connect to Google's Health, so if you want to be able to connect that information, absolutely great. As you can see here, information, basically the heart rate average, the stress, and of course my sleep from last night as I slept, you can see here. It wanted me to sleep 8 hours. I didn't get an 8-hour sleep, but for 6.5 hours, I actually did, I would say I did pretty well. Let's just say that. And of course, you're able to track your progress with the rings as you close them and you complete them there. Now that we've covered what the watch can do, and I'm really happy that both the watch and the actual phone kind of match the colors. The UI experience here is very similar to what we've seen before. Very small, minor visual changes than what stock Android does, but it is absolutely fantastic and is super fast. The 7400 processor that we have in here is considered to be more of a mid-range processor. Again, it's the 7000 series from MediaTek. So the Dimensity 7400 Ultra is going to give us about 1075 for single core and 2992 for multi-core. The overall performance when it comes down to speed, this is going to sound a little bit cheesy, but I ran out of data as I was doing my speed test. It clocked in about 600 down and it was trying to get it about 30 to 40 up in the area that I was in. But unfortunately, the data card that I have on here ran out and I didn't want to go ahead and just try to rerun it at the second. So short answer, no problem. It is not going to have any problems connecting to anything in the US market. Other than that, you have the Google Play Store, download your application, customize the experience. Again, we talked about the Moto AI. This is at its core part of the experience. So we have the ability of using the new pay attention, remember this, the ability to speak into the AI functionality. We also have the ability of initiating in this form. So it is actually a floating button that you're able to access. And of course, we have the AI functions built in directly within the system. So you can actually have it transcribe certain things and make a list of them. And of course, you can edit different content directly within the photo library, accessing all the images. And of course, highlight what you want. You'll be able to do searches, different configurations, typical to what we've seen. All of those are in, they're built in, they're set up, they're really easy, very simple to customize. The camera experience that we have in here is a little bit different than what I was expecting. Now, a 7000 MediaTek processor allows us to shoot in 4K. Now, 4K 30, unfortunately no 4K 60, but when I jump into the video, I have 4K 30 frames per second on the main sensor. I have 4K 30 on the ultra-wide, the other 50 megapixel cameras that we have. And we also have 4K 30 frames per second on the telephoto lens. So we're getting 4K 30 on all of the sensors on the back. And if we switch it to the front, the 50 megapixel camera on the front will give us very much a similar experience. We have photo mode, portrait mode, pro mode, and of course under additional ultra resolution, scan, night vision, tilt shift, time lapse, and then dual capture video as well. But let's not waste any time. Let's go outside and do a quick test of the front facing and the main sensor on the back on the brand new Moto Edge 2025. Start off with the front facing sensor on the brand new Moto Edge 2025. It's an experience that's going to basically be capped at 4K 30 frames per second, but I appreciate the fact that we are getting 4K to start with. Yes, the primary sensors we're looking here are definitely upgraded from previous years. What we're getting here essentially is just a quick test. How does the audio video sound like if you want to be able to vlog, walk around with it, just get a basically general experience. Now, the maximum resolution on the main sensors on the back is also 4K 30 frames per second, but it should be a better experience as we have the better sensors there. Now switching it over to the main sensor on the back. And the nice thing about this, because the 4K 30 frames per second is the maximum resolution, we're actually able to shoot 4K 30 on the main sensor, on the ultra-wide, as well as the telephoto experience in here. That means, for the most part, 4K 30 is mirrored on all of the sensors that we have in here, keeping it more of a consistent experience. And at the end of the day, this should be a pretty decent experience in which you should expect, basically, from the brand new Moto Edge 2025 edition. A great device, great price, a lot of good features, and hopefully a great audio experience and video that you guys can appreciate. And there you have it, an audio video experience that's actually mirrored across all of the sensors. 4K 30 frames per second goodness everywhere. Now, one thing before we go too far, we start talking about the actual audio experience. Under photo, one of the things that Motorola did this year is give us the ability of actually picking the style of photography that we're looking at. If you're looking for something a little bit more neutral, true to life colors, you're able to customize that and apply it. If you want to be able to use a more enhanced, a little bit more vibrant, what I would like to call social media ready type of pictures, and sorry for the air quotes, but what I mean essentially is a slightly color boosted experience. You're able to apply it there, you can go in there, and the images will reflect those built-in functionalities. There's a little bit of a second of processing, but it's very, very nice to see. Again, you can go and customize the experience, add watermarks, auto macro. The ultra wide does actually double as the macro lens. So when you're jumping into the macro, that's really leveraging the 50 megapixel camera, the ultra wide that we have in there. Of course, we're going to switch over to our favorite song, Alex Crindo Jumbo by NCS Release. Jack it up. The audio experience is actually pretty good. This phone is actually louder than I thought it was going to be. And the experience is very nice mirrored between the two. Most of your volume is going to come from the bottom firing speaker. The top earpiece is a little bit less, but it does fill up. And when you're using the phone and holding it in your hand like this, playing games, watching content, or consuming any kind of basically horizontal content, you're definitely going to be enjoying the audio, and it's going to bounce directly within your palm. So it's going to sound very, very nice. So how has it been using the Moto Edge 2025? Overall, I'll probably say is this. From a mid-range type of an experience, it's absolutely great. It fits the bill and it works perfectly to what it's going for. The processor is powerful enough to give you a normal day-to-day experience without having any hiccups. The UI and the UX from the system allows us to actually have not only just the 8 gigs of RAM that's built in, but the ability of actually using some of the internal storage to leverage that, which I really like. Connectivity and functionality works really good. It's optimized to work with the networks. There's not going to be any issues for the US market. It's intended for this market, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So it's optimized there. As far as connectivity, again, on T-Mobile in the market here, basically I was getting about 607 down. That was the average. It was a little bit higher and it dropped. And again, unfortunately, I did lose my upload speed because I ran out of data. It happens to me every once in a while that this data SIM card only has like 2 gigs of data. And guess what? If you're doing a speed test and the phone is very, very fast, you can burn through a gig in literally one test. So that's how much data I've spent. And as you saw there with the speed test, it could definitely deliver. Now, on the camera experience of what we're getting here, again, this is a very well-balanced experience. We have a triple 50 megapixel camera set up on here, the front, the main, and the ultra-wide on the back. And of course, a 10 megapixel for the telephoto. And I think this is where the telephoto doesn't necessarily give us a very strong performer there. But if you want to go in with those macro shots, you want to go in with the main sensor, the ultra-wide, this is going to deliver and it's going to give it pretty well. The main thing I would probably say is just keep in mind, it is a very much more of a mid-range type of an experience. So not flagship ready, so no 4K 60, no 8K. We do have the Moto AI functionalities. I love the fact that the button is present on this one, because on the Razr side, we only got it on the Ultra. The standard and the standard, the standard Razr and the Razr Plus did not get that button. And of course here, the Edge 2025 definitely does have that. I wish there was more colors. Maybe they'll give us more colors later on in the future. Currently, the green one is the only one available, but it is one of my favorite ones. The images, as you're seeing, they're coming out from the main sensor. They look pretty decent. Again, depending on basically the shooting mode that you want to go, if you want to go more natural colors or you want to go more boosted colors, just make sure to select it correctly in the actual camera application and then let it go from there. Stereo speakers is really good. Battery life is pretty decent, and overall, everything else performs very well. The Moto Watch Fit here, absolutely great. It's a great battery, well, I'll say this. It's a great fitness tracker in the shape of a watch that has a very nice long battery, which is the main benefit here. 10 days of battery life obviously outlasts the phone, but it gives you the tracking that you want without having to worry about missing out anything. The notifications are pretty straightforward. It requires you to obviously interact with your smartphone, so that's something to keep in mind there. But other than that, I think it just works what it's supposed to. It's nice, it's easy, and if you want to leave the house and go for a run with it without being with your phone, it does have built-in GPS, 24-hour tracking, sleep tracking, activities all around. It works really nice. And again, as I showed you guys at the beginning, they do include the adapters to be able to use your own watch bands on this. You don't have to go buy anything else other than, well, I guess maybe the watch bands, but short answer, it works great. So my hope is that you found something interesting in this video, and either the Moto Edge 2025 or even the Moto Watch Fit are a good fit for you, no pun intended, for an upgrade that's coming up. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much to Motorola for allowing me to check out both the Moto Edge 2025 as well as the Moto Watch Fit. And again, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of these devices? Are these the devices that could be your next upgrade, your next device, your next smartwatch? I'd like to know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for your support.